What's good, people? Welcome back to the Coffee House. I hope you're all doing well. As always, I am joined today by my co-host, Sav.
What's happening, people?
We want to thank you all for being so responsive in the polls. We've had a load of good ideas for our next upcoming episodes, and we can't wait to get started.
Yeah, the response has been great. It's going to be difficult choosing the head-to-head winners, but we'll get that sorted later.
Yeah.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to apologise for the audio and video quality in the last episode. We're working with what we have at the minute. Obviously, with using Zoom, and we can't get on set to record as we would like to. But until we find an alternative, this is just going to have to do.
Yeah. Much like Arsenal with Unai Emery. Sorry. Savas, before we move on, do you want to give us a breakdown of what's actually happening in today's episode?
Yeah, sure. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the new Premier League rules that they were suggested. We found an article on Metro UK. The link's down below. They've got a whole load of rules on there, but we've chosen 6 that we're going to be discussing in a group of us today. I left it to Akis to gather the fans for this episode. So
Yeah, no pressure, man. That was it was fun. It was fun. I think I did okay. We've got United fan Nick, Liverpool fan Nathan, and a Spurs fan. Ooh, nearly messed that one up there. He would not have been happy. And a Spurs fan, Andy, who you might remember from last week. I tried to get a City fan, but I don't know any. My friends don't know any. My friends' friends don't know any. So
that's that. And no Chelsea fan. I do know one. I was going to get on, but I thought there's no chance I was going to let him come on there and waffle. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance.
I mean, we were meant to have a 4th fan, the Arsenal fan. But with Arsenal losing their 4th place trophy recently, he opted out. Couldn't make it.
Nervous. Got a bit nervous.
Nervous. Bottled it. Bottle jobs. What?
None of this. We're going to try and remain neutral.
We're going to try. We guarantee nothing. This is all being recorded in flow. We'll do our best to get out. We'll do our best to get out all the profanities. But you might hear a few hundred beeps over the next half hour, 45 minutes or so.
Hope not. But yeah. We'll see.
I hope so.
Before we bring on our guests for the discussion, just wanted to bring to your attention another channel, our affiliate channel, which is called For the Fans TV.
Yep.
If you like this episode, the content that we're going to provide here, that is similar sort of thing is going to be there every week on that other channel. What we're going to do now, we're going to bring in Andy before we get started, and he'll tell you a little bit more about it.
Hi guys, thanks for having me on. I'm Andy, co-founder of For the Fans TV. We wanted to start this channel up, not to rival other fan channels, but just to give a little bit more in-depth discussion and impartial discussion on what's going on at certain fans clubs.
Yeah.
So some of the subjects we'll be talking about could be transfers, player comparisons, and obviously we'll be getting rival team fans to come on and have their discussion on specific ongoings in their current football team. Yeah. If the fans would like to be on the show, please give us a comment down below or message our Instagram page. And if you like videos like this one, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
That's the one. As you said, this is kind of like a little preview for what's going to happen on For the Fans. Yep. This one might be a bit tamer than what we're going to see on For the Fans, I think.
We'll see.
This isn't as abrasive a topic as what we might be discussing. So,
no, I agree.
Well, we shall see. Yes, with that being said, as Andy mentioned, pop a comment down below if that's something that you're interested in. We'll have all the links in the description below for you guys to go follow, like, subscribe. And we're going to get everyone else on that. So we're going to get on the Liverpool fan, we're going to get on the United fan, and we're going to have a good old time. Let's go, boys. So, welcome back, guys. We have Nikhil, who is a United fan.
Hello.
Nathan, the Liverpool fan.
Hello, guys.
And you have already met Andy, the Spurs fan.
How you doing?
So, all good, by the way, guys. I know you all ask how I am. I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. Living the dream. Been robbed of our Premier League title after 30 years, but I'll live. So we have everyone on, as discussed, to talk about the proposed new rules into the potential restart of the Premier League. And my co-host Sabas has them all in the list. So Sab, read through them, bro.
Yeah, I mean, just a bullet point through them, and we'll just go from there. Yeah, the first one here is like reduced training. They don't want no contact during training, and maximum of 5 players together. They're going to be sterilising the ball at regular intervals, putting players into lockdown for 6 weeks at nominated hotels. Matches could be played at neutral venues. More subs to avoid injury and burnout. No touching on corners, and age restriction.
Right. I don't know about you guys, but 2 of those stood out for me. Firstly, training in groups of 5. I have no idea how you're going to replicate a match scenario and get anyone match fit in a group of 5. Because I don't know about you, playing 5-a-side is not preparation for Sunday.
It's not even 5-a-side, is it? If you groups of
it's
5,
not even. It's like it's 2.5-a-side. It's Wembley doubles, basically. They're playing Wembley doubles, basically, which is horrendous. And the other one is no touching at corners. So everyone gets a free header.
Five people is not too bad for us. We only got 5 good players anyway.
Wow. Wow. Mate, it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. You could be. I'm trying to think, man. Hi there, Andy. What, Spurs?
oh.
Spurs. I didn't want to say it, man. I felt bad, didn't it? I actually
What
didn't
happened to being impartial? Nah.
I'm impartial. I didn't want to say it. I saw Andy's face and I had to. Anyway, sorry. Carry on, guys.
Because I knew you was coming to me. That's why.
I knew it was coming. Right. What do you lot reckon? Go on. Nick. Let's go Nick first.
I don't know. I think the 5 people training ain't too bad, to be fair. Like when you play football anyway, you kind of like break out into your strikers, midfielders, and defenders anyway. It's not not too bad, but no touching on corners is a bit, I don't know how you're going to do that, to be honest. Like there's just going to be ridiculous amounts of goals. Like,
I know. Can you imagine?
Ridiculous. I can't. Zonal don't work anyway. You don't. Yeah. You can't do that for full stop.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is give Big Verge a header on the edge of the 6-yard box, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the first thought that came to my mind. That was.
Yeah, I like how you went for Big Verge instead of Harry Maguire.
I don't know how Chris Smalley's going to come back and deal with that. His hands are all over everyone.
Jesus Christ, that's assuming it all comes back with no contact.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, it just ain't coming back until this is all gone. What about you, Nath? What do you reckon?
The 5-a-side thing's all right because, like he said, you can it separates into other groups of like you've got strikers, midfielders, defenders can do their unit in their pushing up, coming back.
Yep.
But the non-contact in the corners is just be ridiculous.
It's going to be a liability, isn't it?
Yeah, they can't do that. It's there's got to be some sort of contact. Yeah, otherwise they're just there's no point in having a corner. You might as well just do it throwing instead of a corner.
Yeah, basically. You know that. And even like when it says the training max 5 players, they're saying no contact with them 5 players.
Yeah.
So imagine you want to do like attack on defense. You can put like 3 defenders and 2 strikers. How can you really do that if they can't contact? Like it just doesn't really. Yeah. But,
I mean, if there was ever a chance for Dejan Lovren to look good, it's not now.
This is it, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Dejan. Andy, what about you, bro? What do you reckon?
Yeah, obviously a couple of things stand out. The first one is no contact. That's ridiculous. That can't happen because football's a contact sport, no matter what we like to think. So, but I mean, not that any Spurs players really grab anyone in the box anyway. We're terrible from corners, but if I'm being honest with you, that won't work. In terms of the just reiterating what Nathan was saying, I think the 5-a-side in training is okay because you can separate certain areas of the pitch, so you can do your defenders, your midfielders, and then your strikers. Now, bringing that together is going to be tough because you've only got 5 people there. So unless you want to do kind of a defensive structure, so you have your 4 defenders and the CDM, and then your attacking midfielder, the strikers and the wingers, that possibly could work, but there'll be a lack of synergy between the team if you're only going to allow that 5. So it's a difficult one, really.
Yeah, because even if you're having the 5 the 5 players per training session. I don't even know how they work it. Would that be 5 players every couple of hours walk into the training session to train
like
and then
rotation?
leave,
And I think they're doing it in Arsenal, aren't they? In a couple of other like rotation, they have like 5 people come in and train, and then
obviously they've got coaches as well. I'm assuming like they've got attack coaches, defense coaches, goalkeeping coaches. I'm sure that's going to come into it. I'm sure they do it anyway, but not doing the other side of it is going to be.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it in terms of defenders, it's not possible to do no contact if you're trying to defend somebody running at you with a ball. So that's not possible. You could possibly do it moving past the player, but that's not what defending's about.
No.
Defending is about trying to, put your player off, make sure you put him in areas that he doesn't want to be in. So the no contact thing won't work.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, what did everyone make of the Bundesliga games?
Great.
Well,
I mean, aside from the fact that we're all unbelievably happy that football is partially back.
They're super unfit though, aren't they? Come on,
Schalke, you can tell. You can tell.
Some of them,
It was so weird though when you can hear him shouting. It's like it's in a sports hall. The echo is like,
with that big green tennis ball instead of the.
I'll tell you what, that Schalke goalie, he had a good lockdown. I tell you, he had a great lockdown. He couldn't catch a cold.
Goal kicks.
He definitely didn't catch corona anyway.
No.
But it's good to be fair. It's like weird in a way. It's like more realistic sort of when you're watching it. How when you hear every ping of the ball and every when Haaland had one of the shots. Oh, the sound that made when he hit that shot.
You can hear the ripple of the net.
Unbelievable.
It's kind of like grassroots, really, isn't it? It's like grassroots, but with good players. Like someone who people who can actually shoot rather than Big Dave up front who just blast it 35 feet over the.
Don't forget the surface, yeah. You do not get a pitch like that on Sunday League.
That is true.
I have to say about Borussia Dortmund. They've done really, really well in the stadium to try and mimic certain fan noises as well. I don't know if you noticed it, but when Borussia Dortmund scored, there was a song coming out of the yellow wall, which was actually quite interesting. That's why Haaland went to that corner. So, I think clubs are going to have to start doing stuff like that just to you can't add an atmosphere to the fans, but you can add something to give a little bit more normality to the players.
The celebrating was weird as well, though, wasn't it? Like how they were Like I don't understand it. Like this, it's conflicting what they're doing. Like they're so close in proximity on the pitch, but then they won't celebrate together. Like
your teammates who you spend more time with, but then in the corner, like you're saying, you're backing up against the opposition. This guy, you're not spending time with him.
It's true. Even the celebration, they're doing the old elbow, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you saw before the game, they were all high-fiving each other and cuddling each other. So I don't really see the point.
Yeah, it was probably a bit of a mimic, like taking a mick.
They're probably taking a mick out of the whole scenario.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What's Billy Ali
I think one of the Ireland celebration was he told people to step away from him.
Well, them ones, isn't it? He's just walk around like that, celebrating.
Oh, mate.
Leave him alone, man.
I'm chuffed I got that first time, I'm not going to lie to you. I got that, rapid.
Rapido. Undercover Spurs fan.
Never that.
What about they talk about sterilising the ball at regular intervals. I feel that's something that's doable, isn't it, really? Out of all the rules, that's most likely the easiest one to do.
Yeah. They're like positioned in certain places, I think, across the pitch as well. Like I think the ball boys can only put it down in certain areas or something. I don't think they can actually. There was something like that. I was reading something like that about it. It's a bit random because if the ball goes out like over there somewhere, you have to go out a little bit to get it. That is a good rule. I think that's a good one.
I agree. I think as long as they sterilise the pitch and the ball, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Did they do it in the? I weren't paying that much attention, to be honest, to it. Were they doing it in that game? I didn't see anything like that happening. I don't know if they mentioned.
No, I don't think they did.
I think these proposed rules are Premier League.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
they're more closely focused on the Premier League.
Yeah.
I think the good thing they done though for the Dortmund game, when I was watching it, was they were separating the players on the bench wearing face masks as well.
Yeah.
So they've all taken every little detail possible. So
So they were taking the right precautions to make sure that it works.
I think the main thing is that it don't get massive crowds outside the stadium. Now I think they're more worried about than actually playing the football.
Yeah.
It's a tough one because I'll ask you guys the question: do you think the Premier League are rushing it back? Yeah. I'll give you my opinion quickly because in Germany, I don't know if you heard, but there was rumours before Germany saying that in Germany there could be a second spike because they rushed a lot of things back.
Mm.
Now, in terms of England, obviously we all want the football season to come back, and we want it to come back quick.
Yeah.
Now, if we rush it back, there is a massive chance that a second spike could come back, and then we'll lose football for a hell of a lot longer than what we've just lost before.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Do you think we're rushing it back?
Well, that's for the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give you a bit, yeah.
on boys.
Oh, go on, Nathan, mate.
Nick, go on, you go, Nick.
I don't know. I think what they're focusing on is obviously when the new season starts, if they can get this season out of the way, because they've obviously come out and said they're not going to avoid the league. So they're doing obviously the best they can to at least give the players some sort of like 2-week break, 3-week break before the new season starts again.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're rushing it. I think they're taking their time. But it is getting to that point now where are they going to have enough time to actually, when they start playing the games, to finish all the games possible left?
Yeah.
Or because there's no point just playing 5 or 6 games and then stopping it again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very true.
Because there's not enough time to finish the league, if you get what I mean. So if they're taking the right precautions, obviously I want to see the league finished, obviously, for 19 reasons.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me 8 weeks ago, I would have said finish the season now. That's what I would have said. But now you've given us 8 weeks to get Harry Kane back, Son, Bergwijn. I think we should go again, personally.
Oh yeah, of course.
All the teams, everyone's going to get all their injury-free players back. Like for us, Alisson was injured. Now he's back training.
Now he's back. Yeah.
So, there needs to be a gap, though. There needs to be a little gap. Because I know that Steve Bruce was complaining about it has to be at the end of June because the players haven't been together. So they haven't got that kind of tactical side of it there. So they have to have minimum 3 or 4 weeks, like a mini pre-season to get started back. So I think that's a really good idea that we can do it, even though we want it back as soon as possible, just to make it safe, as well as fitness as well, because when you're not fit and you start doing 90 minutes in the Premier League and in the Elite League, you need to be very careful and you'll end up probably cracking more injuries.
Yeah, you are going to pull a hammy 100% if you come back.
Yeah.
I do think they're rushing it a bit in terms of I think they're getting a lot of pressure from TV rights and like the money side, the financial side of things. Like it doesn't feel like there's a very well thought out plan like up until now. Like it looks like they're starting. It was feeling a bit rushed before, and you even see it like anything's like so divided like that. I don't know how like fair enough. The bottom league teams, they're not going to want to go down. So, but like I get it in a way, but. If you got such a big split, I think there is such a big split in that top half of the table and bottom half of the table. I don't think there's going to be a solution that's everyone's happy with.
I mean, you say that though, but at the same time, like England have waited for the other leagues to sort of start back up as well. So I don't know how far the other ones are, but the Bundesliga started. So I'm assuming they're trying to.
But that's also because Germany have handled the whole situation. I don't want to get into politics, right? But they've handled it a lot better than we have, right? Like, They're at least a month ahead of us, rather than.
So they had it obviously before us, though. They had their worst time before us. So obviously, we're just looking on the way the Bundesliga is. If Bundesliga, say if they've done it for 2 weeks, if nothing happens, everything's okay. Well, it gives obviously other leagues a go ahead to try and copy what they're doing.
But that's what we don't want. We don't want to start it up and then it stop after 2 or 3 weeks, and then we've got another 2-3 months out.
Speak for yourself. I'll take 2 weeks right now. Just give us 2 weeks. Give us those 2 games. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Give us those 2 games.
2 games left, and it's over. So we might as well everyone just play 2 games left.
I do feel like they will do that. I feel like there's some sort of way they're trying to do it so that Liverpool genuinely win it. And then they say, right, that's it. Just sack it off now.
It's a travesty. If this season isn't finished, it's a travesty to football.
For you,
actually, shut up, man.
Even if you win it, you'll have that little asterisk.
That's the worst thing. We're going to have an asterisk next to our league title. It's just aggravating.
Even as a Spurs fan, you've got to give Liverpool the league. They've won it fair and square.
Agreed, But the fact is, if Liverpool weren't so close, they would have scrapped this league ages ago because it's not fair down below. I'm telling you, the pundits love Liverpool. Everybody loves Liverpool, man.
What do you mean?
When you're the best team in Europe, everyone's going to love you, aren't they?
The only people that love Liverpool, are Liverpool fans. I have never in my life have I seen this much abuse towards Liverpool as I have in the last 3 years. It is mental.
It's because you're on the verge of winning the league. That's why.
It's nuts. It's like what have we done? We are like we have suffered for 30 years for this league. For 30 years we have suffered. Yeah.
Like in the way there was like a lot of people in December.
The abuse is
but
bad.
like, the only way that Liverpool won't be able to win the league if like the world collapses or anything like that, and then look what happens. Like everyone gets their wish.
I tell you what. Even as a Spurs fan, I've got sympathy for Liverpool. I tell you why, because this is going to be the first year in 40 years that you won the league, and you
30,
can't even
man. Jesus.
Sorry.
We're not
Whacking on the next decade.
We're not Spurs, man.
Sorry, 30. And you're not going to be able to do it in front of your fans. That will be a shame. I have to.
But that's the other thing, though, right? Like, if they do just scrap it and give it to them, there will be. You can guarantee there'll be.
How are you not going to have
will be down there straight away.
How are you not going to have the parade?
Yeah, exactly.
How you not
can't have it.
Yeah, man, that's going to be upsetting, man.
And it's going to be nigh on impossible to stop all those people.
I'm putting this out there to all the fans, yeah? Zorb celebrations. Every man just runs up in Zorbs and just runs around the streets of Liverpool. Who's on it?
I mean, I'm not celebrating if Liverpool win it anyway. But
I mean, yeah.
That would be quite weird if you did.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit worried, Nick, bearing in mind the amount of abuse you gave me, especially before the Champions League last year.
I'll go and Zorba for you, though. I don't mind that.
Hey, I still haven't even been Zorba in football, so that's on the list.
I think, to be fair, you have to, like, as much as it's horrible to say, you have to give it to Liverpool, don't you? Like, any other if that was your team, you have to be like, come on, it's almost a certainty. And like the only people you got to really think about is the Champions League qualifying, like where it's still very open.
This is
like relegation, like maybe only like one of those spots is actually really 2 of those spots open. Not like
it's only like 3 points.
But then
this is
the
think
about the clubs below, man. If they relegate, what about the clubs coming up from the Championship?
This is the other thing that you were saying about the kind of the league starting back up and what's going to happen. As we've seen today, Hearts have been relegated through the the Scottish Premiership,
so
and they're filing legal. They're filing legal advice because they're not happy with what's going on. So what you're going to hear from the other thing that you mentioned with those 5 things is that the neutral grounds are not going to want to happen, because if that does happen, you're going to see all the lower league kind of teams that are fighting relegation. They're going to completely go nuts, because someone like Watford, Nathan's been Watford, quite a lot, and he will tell you that home crowd is literally the difference. So having neutral grounds is not going to happen, because it's going to have to be behind closed doors. At least having a bit of normality, like for example, let's bring Watford into it, even though they're struggling this season. Just being in your own stadium, it gives you a little bit more. Even though there's no fans, it will give you a little bit more normality to say, okay, you're coming to our house. So the neutral venue don't sit well with me either.
Yeah, because what was it? They were only picking 5 stadiums to play the games in, and you had, I believe it was Watford, Brighton, and another team all came in and went, look, we're not happy with that. We want to play on our own ground. Which I get it, because obviously it's your pitch. You know how to play on the pitch. You've got your home dressing room. You feel better.
Exactly.
But at the same time, if it's safer than playing, obviously in 5 Pacific grounds,
but then is it fair
as well?
Is it safer though? Is it safer?
For me personally, at the end of the day, it's a football pitch. You should be able to play wherever. It doesn't matter if it's your own stadium, because at the end of the day, you've got no crowd. The crowd is the 12th man. If you're 2-0 down, the crowd lifts you. If you're 2-0 down, you have to do it in your mentality.
What you've just said is spot on, though. The pitch size of how they play on their home pitch, that's very, very different. Because I remember when we went to Wembley, we had a tough time at Wembley at the start. Why? Because the pitch was so big. So we've gone from White Hart Lane, which was one of the smallest, very small pitch. Well, the only pitch smaller, I believe, I could be wrong, is Everton. So I think Spurs' White Hart Lane was the second smallest pitch, and then you sent us to not you guys, Spurs sent us to Wembley, and the Wembley pitch I think is the same as the Emirates. It's big, and we struggled on that. So someone like Watford going to, let's say, Wembley, which I know Watford have quite a small pitch as well. They will struggle, and that doesn't give them the advantage. That will give them a massive disadvantage against fast teams.
I see where you're coming from, but obviously as a professional, you should be able to play.
Of course.
Let's be fair, it's the same rule for everyone. It's the same rule for everyone.
Really small advantages.
As much as I want to win it at Anfield, but
the thing is, right, if you look at like Champions League games and Europa League games and stuff like that, sometimes when you have to go to like Ukraine and like all these countries with like that have got artificial pitches and stuff, you see all of them complain about it, but they have to get on with it.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same thing here. You have to decide what do you want to do. Do you want to play football or do you not want to play football?
Yeah.
If you want to, then you can't really moan about where you're going to play. I agree, man. Even if that's playing a park somewhere, like they are professional footballers.
Well, the amount of money they get paid, I'll play anyway if I had that money. Not playing concrete.
You see, was it Joey Barton wrote a tweet about if Troy Deeney and them don't want to play, then I'm sure there's people in the reserves and stuff that would love to play to save their club.
I was going to ask you about that. The players that are saying, no, I don't want to play. So if you don't want to play, then no one who's stopping you from playing. Don't play, innit? There's no drama.
I saw a little article saying if players refuse to train, should they get paid or not? Because they're refusing, obviously, because you can go back and they're getting asked to come in and train. If they're refusing, they're saying should they get paid? Should they not?
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
it's a whole
nother thing. But at the end of the day, like we said, it's just a pitch.
Yeah.
You should be able to play where if you're good enough and you're a professional football player, it doesn't matter. Like it would be good. Like obviously for me, winning at Anfield would be lovely, even though there's no fans, but it would still be good. As long as the right protocol is taken with safety.
Yeah.
If it means playing in only 5 stadiums that are always getting cleaned.
But why couldn't you have the specific stadiums to a point where it's safe enough to play, let's say at Watford? Why can't they disinfect the pitch? Why can't they have Watford play at their home ground? What's the actual massive difference? Because from my opinion, if there's no fans, then the safety aspect becomes what?
The safety aspect falls down to the players coming in the pitch, the officials, and the managers. That's it.
Yeah.
Because there's no one else in there. You got the TV crew, but they're behind. Like,
that's my point.
Well, with Watford at the minute, Watford's ground is actually storage for all the hospital equipment.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's right next to the hospital, so they've got all the storage for the PPE, all the other facilities they need to actually tackle this coronavirus. So in a way, Watford's ground is actually more probably the right way not to play at that ground, because how much equipment they're using so much for the hospital next door, it's going to take more people to actually sterilise that club, that stadium, to make it suitable for other people to come in.
With Spurs, isn't it? Aren't they using it for some sort? I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure, but
the whole stadium's a hospital right now.
There you go. Yeah, the whole stadium's a hospital.
It's basically like that. So if we're thinking about going to different venues, we need to look what is that venue doing at this precise moment.
The only other thing though as well,
they've got all the hospital stuff equipment. Like taking that away, people are gonna outside of football going to start moaning because you're taking all this equipment away from
exactly
for a game. No, we all love it for a game.
That's a good point.
I mean, so that's why I said like playing it at a specific five grounds that have got nothing to do with storing hospital equipment. That is probably the ideal situation to go to.
And I'm not being funny. It's still neutral. Like they're not going to suggest a neutral venue, say like Bournemouth Stadium, and then let Bournemouth play there, right?
Of course,
it's going to be the same for both teams.
Yeah, I think that's how
it's really. It's not
so
really.
If they pick Old Trafford for instance, when United play, they might play I don't know, Anfield
somewhere else.
You know
exactly.
I mean?
Like, it's going to be the
won't
same
play
for
at
both
home
teams.
stadium, so it's the same atmosphere for both.
I think
Can you imagine United being home at Anfield?
Can you imagine Liverpool winning it at United?
Imagine winning at Old Trafford.
That'd be even better. I'd rather do it there than Anfield, trust me.
Mate, listen, if there's going to be no fans, I would rather win it at Old Trafford.
I'll stand out at Old Trafford. I'll stand outside with my t-shirt on. I don't care.
That would be the last we hear of Nathan, guys. And just to let you know, in case that does happen.
What about I would say about the age restriction thing, because when I was reading the article, they speak about, because Roy Hodgson's 72. They were saying like because he's high risk, he can't go. He can't.
I think that's a good thing.
Can't be there. But I'm saying how your manager's not there. Don't you think it's like a disadvantage for the team?
I don't know if this is inappropriate or not, but when I read that, the first thing that came into my head,
it's definitely inappropriate.
I mean, it might be. I don't know, but the first thing that came to my head when I saw that article was Roy Hodgson standing on the touchline in a full blown hazmat suit. Just giving directions from a hazmat suit.
It's true though, isn't it? How
I want to see that. I want to see.
And not have your manager there. It's not on, really.
I want to see it.
But to be honest with you, if everybody has a test and nobody's got it, then I don't really see an issue with
exactly. This is the other thing. They're getting tested twice a day.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. They're getting tested twice a day.
Yeah.
So if you're getting tested in the morning and then pre-kickoff, I think, and nobody has it in the stadium, then there is no issue and there's no safety issue there.
Yeah. But again, that is a proposed thing about the age because, you know, although you might not have it, you may be carrying it. I think it's a concern.
That's what
it's
they
a good
say,
thing
yeah.
to bring that into it, though. Like they're actually going from all different aspects of should we let people over a certain age come in, even if we do everything to the right protocol. Yeah, is it safe for them to actually come in?
Exactly, because Roy Hodgson, bless him, he's a strong gust of wind will knock him over. So.
Yeah, man, he looks fragile, isn't it? It's true though. When you see him on the side of the pitch,
you worry, man. You think, oh, Roy, mate, relax. I know you scored, man, but just ease up, man.
I think to the point about that Nathan made as well, it's true. It is the right, it is the right thing if that's what it is, because it's still, as much as it's still football, you still got to think of the greater schemes here, but the greater impact here on this. This is still a pandemic. This is still a pandemic. No matter how you look at it, you have to protect who you can. And
definitely.
You know what? You got assistant managers, like, time to earn your money. Do you know what I mean? Like,
to be fair, you got
just be on the phone.
Yeah, you got technology.
Like
what about when they get sent off to the stands?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So there's ways around it. I mean, I'm sure they're working on it, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, look, there's ways around everything. I think what their concern, I think they just have to figure out what is the safest way to bring this back in a reasonable amount of time as well. So although it does feel like they are slightly rushing it, not massively. I'm not saying they're like going full pelt ahead. They are slightly rushing it, but they haven't brought it back yet. So until this confirmed whether this is the safest way to proceed, because like we said at the start, this is only proposed. They might come out. They might come out in a week when this airs. It might come out in a week and say, we've got 4 different rules that are pretty much spot on to make this.
Well, you can guarantee the no corners thing is not going to happen.
No touch.
They were talking about the sliding tackle and looking away, weren't they, as well?
How are you going to make a slide tackle?
Isn't that even more dangerous?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
If someone like Lee Catmull was running,
looking at the player.
Yeah, Lee Catmull was running at me. I at least want his eyes to be looking where he's tackling. Get someone like that looking away, man. No way.
That'll be the excuse, innit? I weren't looking. I didn't know. know.
Mustafi's made a career out of making tackles without actually looking what he's doing, so it might actually work. Who knows? Mustafi, good fun. But yeah, like it's projected rules, man. I think they're, to summarise everything, there's a way of bringing this back safely, and it's going to take a bit of. I was going to use number crunching there. That's definitely the wrong thing I was thinking of. They have to find a process of elimination to actually get this.
Man,
as safe as possible. I mean,
the only thing is they're up against it, innit? They are up against it. So that's why obviously they're rushing it. Like we all said at the beginning, you've only got a certain amount of time before next season starts. Are we going to postpone that? So I think everything.
They won't going to start the season until like September, October 2021 season.
That's what they're talking about anyway.
Do you know what though? Honestly, we should allow other leagues to go back first, because there will be trial and error, let's say in the German league. And actually we can learn from some of the mistakes they're doing. You know, in a couple of weeks in the Bundesliga, they might turn around and have a specific thing that they're doing on match days that could help the English league. You know, so it's good that kind of we do push it back till maybe end of June to see what Bundesliga do.
That's probably
to see
why they
what
did
Serie
push it
A
back.
do.
End of June. End of June is a very good time to establish whether or not this is.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
definitely,
because it's true. We've got to use other leagues as examples. I mean, you've got the Bundesliga who have started, and touch wood, it's going okay.
But the
Spanish league's coming back soon as well.
They started training again.
But I think
teams.
UEFA have given a deadline, haven't they? I think might be next week sometime in 25th, 26th. I can't remember of May.
End of May. The EPL have to give an answer. Because I think Monday they're having a meeting about it.
But that's for the Champions League. UEFA don't run the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Whatever it is.
I can see where they're talking about with the Premier League, obviously starting the Premier League up. But when it comes to obviously the Champions League and Europa League, I don't think they should just leave it. Just scrap it, because then you're just going to make all kinds of.
There's no real consequences.
We don't care about the Champions League, man.
There's no
real consequences of if someone loses in that competition, it's a knockout tournament.
Yeah, just go
no
again.
One's getting relegated or not from that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the biggest issue.
And it's the money on the club. Like in the Premier League, to go down, you're losing a lot of money if you go down. And it's so hard to come back up, man, for all the leagues.
Going up is, I think you get
biggest prize in football.
If you go up through the playoffs, you get the most money.
Million,
you get the most money. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's actually insane when you think about it. A balloon payment or parachute payment, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I think the overall thing, you have to think of it as it's the same as us going back to work, right? You have to, until you're sure that it's safe, and until you're sure that it can be done without the risk of it happening. Because as soon as it happens, once again, everyone's going to question it, saying, "Why did you do it?"
Yeah.
Until that's resolved.
Well, you've even got players coming out now, like Danny Rose questioned it very strongly.
Yeah.
I mean, his statement was unbelievable, to be fair.
Really bad.
He's never really pulled his words, to be fair to him. But what he came out was talking about people dying. Why are we even talking about football?
Yeah, it's true.
The honest truth is, and again, like Nick, I don't want to go into politics or anything, but if football is on the TV, it's going to keep a lot more people at home. And actually,
there's a sense of normality as well. Like, get some sort of normality back. Like, even obviously,
let's be honest.
People
even
in
for
high
the
places that want sport back.
Even for the players,
Trump, Boris Johnson, they've all said we want to try and bring it back. So there's a bit more normality to life than just doing nothing.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, I think like the players obviously as well, they want to get back to normality. You know, some people I know, I'm enjoying my time off, don't get me wrong, but some people I know, they want to go back to work. They're bored, man. They don't want to be at home. Some of the players probably want to get back to playing football.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm not being funny, but you say what you want about footballers, about how much they get paid and all that, but can you imagine not being allowed? Actually, no, you're not allowed to do your job, which is one of the best things in the world to do.
And they love it. Do you know what I mean? They love football.
But then 90% of them love it.
If the reason for you not being allowed is to stay and protect your family, protect other people, I think that's all right.
No, of course. Like I'm not saying that they should be selfish and pursue it. But what I'm saying is, it must be like we can say what we want about footballers, but it's still a mad thing, even for them. Like it's they're footballers, they've got all their mansions and their money and everything, and they can. Who cares? Well, it's not, because it's still their livelihood. It's what they're used to. Like their normality is getting up in the morning and training twice a day. Their normality is getting on a coach and traveling 300 miles to go to an away game. Their normality is playing in front of crowds. So like you've taken, like, obviously not you guys, but it's been taken away from them. Everything that they know is gone.
And it could affect them as well. I know some of them don't want to, some of them might want to. It's all down, I think, down to the player's decision. I think if a player don't want to play, I don't know what they're going to do about their wages. If you don't want to play, you don't have to. I think then they can discuss that.
Because I think it would be very wrong to turn around and say to someone, you don't want to train, you don't want to get paid. Because at the end of the day, they're taking their safety into consideration. Like, I don't feel safe doing this. So if they don't feel safe, you know.
I still don't think they should get a full pay. Like, as in, if it's the same, like, I get it. They have
it's
to
the same with us, isn't it?
And they've still got mortgages and stuff like that to pay. Don't get me wrong, right? But like, at the end of the day, if I turn around and say to my work, like, I'm not going to work, I can tell you now, I'm not going to get paid.
No chance.
Like, so it shouldn't be any different. Do you know what I mean? Or there should be some way they have like some sort of.
Well, if the club's fair,
if
the club is fair to them, they give them a list of their bills. The club will say, "Look, we'll make sure you can live and pay for everything. We're not going to, but you're not going to get your full whack."
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
you'll see a lot more players stop their opinion there. I'll tell you, if that happens, and
you turn around to them and say you're only getting your food payments, your car payments, and your mortgage paid for. Yeah. The rest of it is not coming to you.
Yeah. Tell Ozil that and see what he does.
Oh, look.
I had to. I'm sorry.
I know. It's fine. It's all banter. To be fair, the Arsenal fan ain't here to defend himself, so he brought it on himself.
He did. Look, just before
we won't mention the names. We won't look at anyone particular, but you know who you are.
He does. Yeah. Before we wrap up, I wanted to put something to you lot just to see. Obviously, if the league comes back, there's no question about it. Everyone's going to say Liverpool's going to win it. Yeah. What about the other 3 positions for top 4? Who's going to get them?
Ooh, I like it, Sam.
Who's going to get them?
To be fair, it's been so long, I can't remember who's in the top 4.
You got to back Leicester. You got to back Leicester to finish in that top 4.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm assuming and City.
City, of course. Yeah,
City and Leicester have to be there.
It's really between Chelsea and United, isn't it?
I reckon Chelsea.
You can't. Fair enough.
Wait a minute.
No, fair enough. Sheffield United are in it as well.
Don't rule them out. They're actually quite a good squad. Don't rule them out.
We've got all of our players back now. All right, it could be interesting. Remember
no
one thing.
You got Mourinho at the helm.
Remember one thing.
Take it from me. You ain't getting that
Remember
top
one
four.
thing.
I won't mess with Spurs anymore after Son's come back.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
What's that?
There'll be no touching there.
100% accuracy with an AK-47. That's a bit naughty. That is.
Remember one thing. Tottenham's first game will be against Man United, so that could change everything. So
Well, no, it don't change nothing. That's you lot 3 points down. We're definitely winning that, surely.
Yeah, I mean, listen. With all of our players back, I would be quietly confident in that game. Now,
Really?
I don't think Man United had great. I don't think Man United had great, great form coming into that game anyway. I mean, we definitely didn't, but our whole team was in pieces.
You could
So
add Messi
now
to your
coming
team,
back.
mate. Mourinho in charge. You're setting up for defence. That's it.
We managed
Trust me,
to
we've been
beat
through it.
City.
We've
We
been
managed
through
to
it.
beat City.
That bus is well and truly parked, man.
That's it.
Well and truly. But look, I mean,
That's what I'm
you've
saying.
got-
It's not hard to work on tactics like that. Mourinho just needs to put up a picture of a bus in all of their houses.
Yeah,
Say,
but
"Look,
you know
boys,
what I'll say? Do you know what I'll say is we struggled with Pochettino and we were playing apparently lovely football. So
Right.
in terms of Pochettino at the start of this season and at the end of last season, if you ask a Spurs fan and say, was you playing good football? They're going to say no. Because we wasn't. We were
Did
losing
you say
so many
Champions
games.
League final is struggling? That's a
No,
big
but hold
That's a
on
big
a
statement.
minute.
I thought you had
Hold on
a
minute.
small club mentality. That's a
The,
big
the
statement.
Champions
listen,
League,
listen.
the Champions
Listen,
League run, just
Champions League was
papered it.
unbelievable.
It papered over the
Wait,
cracks, though, man.
Remember one
That
thing:
run.
when a team loses 20 games in a season, you cannot say they're in good form.
Yeah.
We lost 20 games last year, so nobody can say that we were playing amazing. Listen, the Champions League was unbelievable,
Yeah.
but that won't happen again. In terms of how it happened,
Yeah.
we wasn't in good form at all last season.
3-0 down to Ajax. Not even a good side, but not a great side.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
They're awful for even letting us come back into that game, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly,
Like,
exactly.
This is something that I brought up with that me and Andy talked about last season, yeah. Because I remember I watched that game with Andy, the Ajax game, yeah. No, I watched the City game with Andy.
City
Sorry,
game
my
and
bad
Ajax.
boys,
Wow.
my bad boys. That City game, yeah.
But we played
How
well
much-
there. We played well there.
What do you not reckon about Poch not putting more in that starting lineup after he got them into the semi?
You got to do what's right, haven't you? You got to do what's right for
Soon,
what he thinks.
I reckon.
You can't
Look,
question Poch, man.
Look,
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing?
You can, of course. As long as you don't swear.
No, I won't swear.
we've done well up to now.
As you know, Aggie, I went to Spain and I was standing outside the ground when I got that information.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, people are not going to agree with me with this, but the moment he dropped Lucas Moura, I lost a lot of confidence in him. And I'm telling you, a lot of other fans deep down did as well. You cannot drop Lucas Moura.
Who did he play
the position
instead?
that he was in. He actually played well.
Huh?
He played Dele Alli and he brought back Kane because that was Kane's first game back. But in terms of the actual starting lineup, it doesn't matter who you drop. You could drop anyone, but in that situation, morally and football-wise, you cannot drop Lucas Moura for that final.
It's such
So
a
a lot
hard
of
one,
Spurs
though, man.
fans
It is a
gave
hard
up on
one.
him a little bit.
Kane's a top boy, innit? But I personally think if he wants to bring Kane back, then drop Ali because Ali weren't playing very well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's why
what
I was
said.
in shock when I saw the lineup as well. Like Andy
Yeah,
said
I
in
agree.
Spain, see the lineup. How can you not be playing?
It was suicide straight away. It was, with all due respect, we couldn't have scored against Liverpool that night if we played for 2 days. They were so good defensively. And do you know what? Actually, the only time we caused them any problems is when Lucas did come on, and we had Lucas on the right and Son on the left.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm the same as you, Sav. I would have started Son on the left, Kane through the middle, Lucas on the right. I don't think Dele deserved his place in that team. But also, from what people inside the club are saying, is that when that did happen, everybody just looked at Lucas Moura and they kind of lost a little bit of confidence in terms of the tactics. Because there's no, morally, it's so wrong when the guy has literally single-handedly got you in the Champions League. You're going to drop him. And you haven't dropped him for behaviour or doing something, indecent in the club. You've kind of dropped him tactically, which actually, if we look throughout the whole of last season, Dele Alli was probably one of our worst players.
Yeah.
And Moura was probably your best player.
Yeah, that's the point.
Akis, you are recording this, right? I want to get this Tottenham fan saying Dele Alli was poor last season on recording, man.
Oh, mate, we got it.
He was.
The amount of Tottenham fans that gas him up is unreal.
This is going to be on YouTube and on a podcast. Don't you worry, sunshine. We've got it.
So what? Listen, Top 4, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. All right, actually,
All in agreement, yeah. All in agreement. Liverpool
Well,
are
are we
going to get
taking
it.
City out of it though?
Well,
Hang
if
on.
you want
Are
to
we
say
assuming-
City
you know
are in
what?
it,
You know what? You could take City out of it, but let me
Are we
read you. Let me
assuming
read you the standings.
yeah.
Yeah. So you've got
yeah,
City
'cause I'm looking
second.
at 'em.
City second. 28 games played. 57 points. You got Leicester just below them. 29 games played. 53 points. So only 4 points behind. Then you've got Chelsea. 29 points. 48 points. United. 29 played. 45 points. Wolves. 43 points, 29 played. Sheffield,
Shout Wolves.
They got game in hand. Sheffield,
7th, 28, 43 points. And then you have Tottenham, 29 and 41 points. So Tottenham are 7 points off of top 4.
They're a long way. To be honest, I don't think Spurs will get it. I think personally Chelsea will get it, but I hate Chelsea in it.
I reckon it'll be a shock, you know.
It could be the top 5 though. Remember that.
Yeah.
Could be.
Is that what
I
they're
think if
talking
any,
about?
to be fair, going back, if anyone, you're probably actually thinking about it, Leicester.
I think Leicester are guaranteed.
Maybe dropping out.
Yeah.
No, Leicester are guaranteed.
Really?
No way.
Thinking that before,
way.
but listen to that point. They were in a bad run of form as well, man.
Brendan Rodgers is a magic man. And he's a magic man. He's a magic man.
Leicester, the last 6 games, 2
Liverpool
wins, 2
fans,
draws, 2 losses.
Is Brendan Rodgers a magic man?
Listen, I will say
if it
this
weren't
now,
for Rodgers,
and I've said it
Liverpool
to
would still
Andy.
be whack. He
I've
come
said
in
it
and
to
change
Andy.
the game.
I've said it
As
to
long
Andy
as he
and I've said
doesn't
it to
play,
Nathan.
as long as he doesn't play at Crystal Palace away,
Hang on.
then he's alright.
Oh, Nick, man, allow it, man. That was.
That's a low blow. That
is. You know what? I haven't even cussed United in this one, but you brought it on yourself. Now you watch.
You're brave as a Man United fan to be talking about Liverpool, man. I'll tell you something.
Until it's done, until they've won it, I can.
He's enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it.
It might get taken away from him.
Can I just say?
he wakes up every morning and he's like, "Thank God."
Yeah, thank God. Void the season. I'm changing. Void it.
You know what? Like, aside from the fact that we're 37 points above United,
Oh,
I think one of our biggest things of this season is that we have been so good, that the rest of football, all the other fans want football to be cancelled so we don't win the league.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's an achievement. Because I said it at the start and I'll say it now. I have never seen as much hatred towards Liverpool as I have in the last 2-3 years. But going back to Rodgers as a magic man, no. I said it to Andy and I said it to Nath. The only reason we did that well was because Suarez and Sturridge were firing like mad.
Suarez. Just change that league.
Listen, our tactics, we had no tactics. Our tactic when we had Suarez, Sterling and Sturridge playing the way they were, outscore whoever was scoring us. Because we were winning games 3-2, 4-3. You know what I mean? We weren't winning games 6-7-0.
Coutinho as well. Coutinho was in that.
Coutinho as well, yeah.
It was an amazing squad.
All right,
so
but
it will come down to the players, not the manager.
Listen, he was no magic man.
But look at what he's doing at Leicester.
Because there is no pressure on him at Leicester. There's no pressure on him at Leicester to do anything.
There was no pressure on him at Liverpool. He made the pressure there.
There's always pressure on him.
That's a good point about.
There's always pressure
though.
There's no pressure on
There's
Leicester.
always pressure, man.
Do you know where when we look at Brendan Rodgers now, he looks like he's learned from his days at Liverpool though. Like, honestly, he ain't playing the same way that he was at Liverpool that he's at Leicester. No. And actually, look at the Leicester team. You know, you go through that team. Okay, we're saying they're quality players now. Yeah. But when Leicester got rid of their manager and then appointed Brendan Rodgers, everybody was saying, "Oh my God, he's going to have a real tough time to even get in Europa League." And now, and there's 2 things that I would say. Football-wise, they're playing some really serious football. Man. That's the first thing. Yeah. And the other one, their away form's improved massively, and that's really why they're so high up in the league. So when you look at Leicester and you look at Brendan Rodgers, I'd say they're a match made in heaven. And actually, I'd say that he's one of the most underrated managers in probably European football. Even though he didn't win the league for Liverpool, apart from when he was there, when did Liverpool go for a title?
Winning the Premier League is a difficult feat, man. It's hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
We managed a second place finish, and then we decided to get rid of Alonso, Mascherano, and Arbeloa for some reason. So,
but this is my point, though. Like, you didn't win the league with them guys. Yeah. So when Brendan comes in, and actually, who was your defenders that year that you nearly won the league?
Oh my God!
You see what I'm trying to say?
Sacco.
Was Aurelio in it then as well?
Moreno.
Oh my God!
Sacco, my God!
So now let's go back to Brendan Rodgers, and actually, what did he do with that team? So even I agree with you, Sterling, Sturridge,
I said it 3 minutes ago. I'll say it again. It is because the only reason we did that well that season is because of Sterling, Suarez, and
that front three.
Because they
you
were
need more than
battering
3
people.
players. Aggie,
No,
you need
no,
more than
they
3
weren't.
players.
That's
But
all they
were
had that
Look
season.
at the
That's all they
attacking
had.
aspects of that team, of
You
the
need the
attacking
tactical
players.
aspects.
They were
That's what I'm
ridiculous.
saying.
Suarez could do no wrong. That
The
season.
attacking
The
players
geezer
we
was.
had
I nearly swore there. The geezer battered
overtook our
everyone.
defence. The
Suarez-
defence was shocking.
Suarez carried
missed 10
them.
games. Suarez missed 10 games and was top scorer in the league.
Yeah.
Now listen, Suarez, Sterling, and Sturridge were unbelievable. But actually, when we look apart from the attack, Liverpool were terrible. So actually, when you look at how many points that Liverpool accumulated under Brendan Rodgers and the style of football you were playing as well,
But you just said it. They were
tactically
terrible.
got you out of trouble. So what I'm saying is,
if you watch that season, Andy. Yeah, just watch Liverpool that season.
Yeah.
This is how they get you to be a Liverpool fan. Don't do it, mate. Don't do it. Don't do it. He's
watch
converting you. Don't do it.
Watch us once properly and you're hooked. Mate,
he's tried before. Don't worry about that.
Mate, you could feel stress going through Anfield whenever the ball was not with Sterling.
Yeah, of course.
You felt the stress because you knew that any single one of those players was capable of a horrendous mistake.
Yeah.
And you knew it.
No, but this is my point, though.
Watch it. Yeah, you're on thin ice. I have the power to boot you out of this room.
I think it's made Brendan Rodgers look better because there's other teams that aren't doing as good as they should be.
Yeah, agree.
Because
I actually disagree.
I reckon come by next year, I don't think Leicester will be anywhere near how good they are doing now. Because if you see how when they won the league, and in the season after, they were nowhere to be seen.
You talk about clubs that signed well. Leicester signed brilliant players. I tell you, their scouting is amazing.
Amazing. You know, you've got the Madison.
Pereira and Didi. These players.
How long can they rely on Vardy though?
They're not relying on Vardy.
I
genuinely don't believe they're relying on Vardy.
I think they give him more of a vocal.
I think their midfield is unbelievable.
They play to suit Vardy. They play.
I agree.
When Vardy ain't playing,
I agree.
But when Vardy ain't playing, they still play good, man.
Of course they are. But that comes down to tactics, and that's where you've got to applaud Brendan Rodgers, because when Vardy's out of the team, they're still scoring goals.
I think he's good.
I don't doubt.
Well, you wanted him for Spurs, didn't you?
I would have had him happily. I would have.
You know what? Though? Rodgers went from Liverpool to Celtic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that's where the difference is he picked up that winning mentality at Celtic. He didn't have that at Liverpool before.
No, he came to Liverpool.
You know what? I hate people that talk about winning mentality.
No, it's a big thing. You don't have it, clearly.
Mourinho's got winning mentality. Where are we sitting in the league? Someone tell me, because I must be blind.
It's true. It's true. And actually, what did Mourinho do at Man United? And he had a winning mentality.
But they won trophies there, though, yeah? But he was saying, Nick was saying, you've got Mourinho now. So I feel sorry for you. But they won 3 trophies that year.
Yeah. But that's the standards of United and Tottenham. That's the difference.
I'll leave out.
If we're not celebrating that.
You forgot what the Champions League theme sounds like. It's been so long.
Nick, if you're being honest with yourself in terms of the way that Man United not only have been playing and the way that your team is, I mean, I actually think Mourinho, he wasn't amazing at Man United, but he done what he needed to do at Man United. So your players when you had Mourinho, they weren't amazing.
He done the best he could with that.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's a difference.
Second, he come out and said that's the best thing I've ever done. Is getting
similar to this year.
Finishing second with United.
You know what? Similar to this year is everyone was doing poor that year.
No, you know what? No. You know what? Right? There's a difference. There's winning mentality is a thing. If the coach has got it, that's one thing. But he needs to translate that to the players.
Instill it to the
players.
But all coaches should have it anyway. That's the whole part of being a coach. There's a mentality.
There's a difference.
There's a difference between winning the odd game or winning trophies. There's a big difference.
This is my point that I had about Pochettino. As a man and as a manager, he was unbelievable, but he didn't have that winning mentality. And I'm telling you,
I agree with that.
I genuinely do not believe tactically, and I'll give you a quick story on why I think this as well. Is when we went and we played Man United in the semi-final of the FA Cup. My dad's a Man United fan.
Horrible day, man.
Okay, so when we played Man United,
don't make him relive it, Andy. He's still suffering.
Sorry. Man United had Jose Mourinho at the time. And when I looked for the first 20 minutes, we were all over United. I swear, United could not touch the ball. And my dad, as a United fan, he's sitting inside Wembley in the Spurs end with me, and he said, "I actually can't believe how bad we are and how good you guys are." then Jose Mourinho makes a tactical formation change. We couldn't touch the ball. Man United go and beat us 2-1. So the point I'm making is you need to have kind of tactics behind that winning mentality. I don't believe Pochettino did.
I don't think Poch had a plan B. When teams sat off Spurs, he didn't know what to do. That's the only thing.
I think that sometimes the difference in that mentality is that Mourinho, if you put Mourinho into a final and you put someone like Poch into a final, right? Mourinho, no matter what he does, he will stick to what he knows. He will not adapt to anyone. He will do it, but Poch will worry about the other team more. And that's the difference 100%. In that mentality.
I agree.
Mourinho does as well. Because if you look at Mourinho when he plays the top 4 teams, his mentality, straight away, his tactic is sit. Sit.
Yeah, that's his way. And you're right, but he will stick to that. You're right, but he will stick to that.
Yeah.
But Pochettino will worry about the other team more. Mourinho knows if my players stick to that, we'll win.
Yeah.
Pochettino will say, I hope we don't lose because of that player. So let's try and combat something for that player or that person or something like that. And I think that's the difference, personally, in the mentality.
Yeah,
I agree.
If Pochettino went away to Celtic,
we have deviated massively, boys. We have deviated massively. Yeah. The original question, which we asked probably about 13 minutes ago, top 4, Liverpool guaranteed. What do we reckon? What are we saying? Come on.
Go. Everyone speak first.
I will call out names, and then you tell me what you think your top 4 is going to. Your top 4 minus Liverpool is going to be. Yeah. All right, Nath, hit me.
I'm going to go City, Leicester, Wolves.
Ooh, I like that. That's interesting. I've got a lot of time for that.
All right.
Because to be
I'm
fair,
a big fan of Wolves, man. They're very good.
They play some good football, man.
It's unbelievable.
That's why points around Chelsea. It's possible. I like it.
They're a very good squad.
Yeah. Nick, come on, man. Let's go.
I'm gonna go City, Leicester, United, but Chelsea will get it because of City's ban. They'll come in 5th, I reckon. Or either way, United or Chelsea, one of them will finish 4th or 5th, and then they'll get it through City not being in it. I think so.
Makes sense. Andy Moore?
I'm obviously gonna say top 5 because I think 5th will get the Champions League. I think it'll be Liverpool. 2nd will be Man City. 3rd will be Leicester. 4th will be Chelsea. 5th will be Wolves. I don't think Man United get it.
Oh,
Wolves are unbelievable.
With Rashford and Pog's back as well.
The thing is, when you look at Wolves, they're unbelievable.
Personally, for me, Wolves have a better side than United. Forget about the names. Personally, for me, Wolves have a better
I actually agree.
I agree with Wolves are a better team as like a team unit, but.
But that's what you need. Forget about the names. You need a unit, and you haven't got a unit.
And Nick, you know that when Pogba comes back in the team, there's trouble all the time.
No, but you know what? No, normally there is. But before a tournament,
I'm not going to go on the Pogba subject, but
before a Euro,
the Pogba subject is one that will.
Man United.
That's for another video.
Listen, the Pogba subject is an episode in itself.
That is.
And don't worry, I'll tell you what. As I mentioned previously, for the fans. I will get everyone involved on it for a Pogba debate, maybe something like that. Because you know what? Why not?
You can make a whole channel on that Pog Talk TV.
Pog Talk TV.
But episode 1 of 15.
Episode 1 of 15. Let's count how many haircuts he's had. Anyway, right. Let's not get into
so we've got that.
You know what? You need to do a podcast for underrated players.
Oh, I'm on it. I'm all over
for that. That would be a good one.
Pogba's definitely not in that.
No, not Pogba. Gini Wijnaldum, mate. Stick him in there. What a player. Yeah. I'll give you that.
See? You know what? And I haven't paid him to say that, by the way. So
I just got your transfer through, mate. Thank you.
Nathan has. Sorry, Nathan's paid him.
You paid him. That's why I see. Right. Well, boys. Listen, I want to thank you all for coming on because that was a good 40 minutes.
Yeah, man.
That one. So I want to thank you all for coming on, boys. And we will most likely do another one of these because this has been pretty good.
Good, yeah, man. Good fun, yeah, definitely.
Cool. So thanks for coming on, guys, and see you catching the next one.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Thanks, boys.
Cheers.
So that brings us to the end of the episode. I want to thank Andy, Nick, and Nathan for coming on and giving us their thoughts on the proposed new rules for getting the Premier League restarted. A few deviations here and there, but what do you expect when we're talking about football?
Yeah, it's to be expected. As we said earlier on, if you like this sort of content from today's episode, check out our sister channel for the fans. All the links will be in the description below. The first episode is due out next week. and it will be content like this, just a touch more argumentative.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, we'll provide that every week, and it'll be all about football.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head over to our Instagram channel to get involved in all of the polls that we are currently doing for our future episodes. Stay safe, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Take care.
Peace.
See ya.